My mind goes crazy.
Yes. Why?
It
Why?
worries.
Why?
It's trying to keep me safe because
Really?
if I let go of that program, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes. Have you ever tried just to see?
Moments, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How long of a moment?
A few moments here and there.
And what happened?
It's nice and quiet.
Yes. So, but this is good, and I'm not trying to laser in on you, but you speak for many people. Why the worry, could we call it slight obsession? Good. Slight
More
obsession.
than slight. Yeah.
Yes, very slight, tiny, almost couldn't even spell it. The worrying, the fear, it's just mental chatter. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't that, you'd be doing crossword puzzles obsessively. It's occupying the mind. Why? What benefit are you deriving from it? Stop smiling, Mark. What benefit are you deriving from it?
None.
Yeah, none. Then you wouldn't be doing it.
Well, I think in some way, I think it keeps me safe from moving into something
You
different.
think, but what really? Just let's do common sense here. What benefit is being derived? Because every one of you who has any sort of thing right now that's going on, I don't care if it's a financial thing, a health thing, a slight obsession thing, I don't care what it is. But you are deriving some benefit from it. Otherwise, you would have let go of it a long time ago. It serves you somehow. Every one of you, look at yourselves for a moment. Whatever that is, you are deriving a benefit. It is serving you. And therefore, all is well in all of your damn creation because it is serving you. It's doing something. You're loving it. Otherwise, you would have left it. So, how is it serving you to have this?
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction, absolutely. But distracting from what?
From me.
So do you think maybe if you took that pause and stopped the mind chatter, and that's really all it is a huge distraction, and it could be in the form of, as I said, doing crossword puzzles all the time or worrying about things. What would happen then? You would have to face
Myself.
Good. Now, what would be the biggest fear about facing yourself?
I wouldn't like me.
I like you. Why wouldn't you like you?
I don't know. I'm assuming I've done lots of bad
Oh,
stuff.
you have, but remember last month? That wasn't me.
That's right.
I had nothing to do with you. It's not. It's really, I can prove it scientifically that it was not you. Mathematically, scientifically, spiritually, philosophically. It was not you. You get a fresh start. So now, what is there to fear? I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right when you were on the verge. That there's nothing there.
I was going to say nothing.
An empty suit. Yeah. What have you got to lose by trying?
Falling into nothingness, into a void.
It's going to happen sooner or later. If you die and there's really nothing, you're going to fall into that. So why not find out now? So you can enjoy the rest of your life. When you discover that there really is something there, and it's not what you thought it was. That's the best part, and the toughest part. What's there is not what you have ever thought it was. Nothing like it at all. So give it a try, really. Now, your mind's going to still want to stay occupied doing something because it's used to cranking out energy and solving problems and that. But it could be channeled, keyword, into something more productive. There's no reason to worry. And I'm talking to all of you. I look sometimes at your lives and how much is occupied any given day on just worrying about something. Things that are not going to happen. Haven't you figured that out by now? What you worry about generally never happens. It's a spiritual law. Yeah. Good.
But I'm afraid that what if I stop worrying and then that's the time it happens?
Then
serious.
I would say to you as a Professor Adamus, go for the experience. Really, go for the experience, everything falling apart. Or has it already?
I've done that.
Yeah. So all that worrying blew everything apart, and you're still here. You haven't disappeared. Maybe there's something new to discover. Yeah. I'm going to challenge you, and we're going to have you up here next month. You are coming back, aren't you?
Maybe.
I mean, after the end of the world, of course.
If we're here.
Yes. You know how many people have worried about the end of the world, build bomb shelters underground, and done all sorts of other crazy things? And, December 22nd is going to be a dark day for them. A sad day. Why? Because they're going to say, I got it wrong again. I even got the end of the frickin' world wrong. I screwed up once again. So, between now and next month, don't worry about anything. Sure, I mean, you think, I don't know if I can do that. Sure you can, just choose not to. What do you do when worry starts coming over you?
Sometimes I stop and I take a deep breath.
Yeah, sometimes.
And I say to myself, this too shall pass.
Yeah, there's two, it wasn't you. Not only will pass, but it wasn't you. All the fears, all the worries are brought up by remembrances of things from the past, which are now irrelevant because we're going into a new energy, you see. So it really wasn't you. So when the worry comes up, you take a deep breath and kiss it, just like Edith and I kissed before. Embrace it. Never lived that one down. Embrace it. Dive into it. Dive into it. You have nothing to worry about. Instead of letting it chase you around the block and through your dreams, dive into it. See what happens. It's just energy. You'll find out that the worry really is just a facade. Yeah. Stop. That worry is just chasing you down the street, right in your tail. Just turn around and face it and see what happens. Don't battle it, though. Go into it.
What's the difference?
Battling is you're becoming adversarial. You're trying to overcome it or overwhelm it. Like there's a fight, and there's really not. Just go into it. Walk right into it. Just walk right into it. And just try it.
I will.
Yeah, you probably will. Once.
I will.
So for a whole month, and then next month, please, tell everybody how magnificent you feel, how gorgeous you look, how at peace you are, and now you don't know what to do with all this extra energy. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. We talked about distilling things down to the basic core energies, simplifying it. And not from up here. You will never, ever simplify anything from up here. This little device called your brain was specifically designed and programmed for confusion. It makes your brain feel happy. It makes it sing. Give it a puzzle, it'll do it. Why do people do crossword puzzles? Why? The brain gives it a little exercise. Why do they play solitaire every night? And why do they do these things? The brain likes complexity, and that's okay, unless you think you're your brain. Then your life is going to be filled with confusion and complexity, puzzles, riddles, challenges until it absolutely grinds you down, wears you out, and then you show up here. And then you realize it could be simple. It could be anything you choose as a problem or a condition of the planet. First of all, it's a mental era. It is the pinnacle of Atlantean mental activity. The pinnacle of that activity didn't happen in Atlantis, it's happening here right now. Things have gone mental. Very little creativity, very little vision. Everything is in the mind. The mind is wonderful up to a point, but it's very limited. Very, very limited. And you have a very mental network. And a mental network, consciousness network, stays into itself. It is incestuous. And you know what happens in the case of incense? It eventually causes a lot of disturbing patterns. Why? Because it wants to blow itself up eventually. Can't stand to be in that confined type of network. So you've got a very mental mass consciousness network going on. Something's got to get it out of there, or it will either blow up or implode, one of the two. Can't go on like it is. That is what's happening with you personally right now. You're getting out of your mind network. And it's hell, because you're trying to do it from your mind network. And it won't work. It has to, the outside influence has to come from somewhere else. It's your divine intelligence. It's your you. It's your I am. You can't think your way into enlightenment. You can't think your way out of your mind at all. So mind era is number one. Closely tied into that is hypnosis. You could turn the clock back a little bit. Yeah. So number two is hypnosis. And we'll talk more about this in our next gathering. But humanity is basically hypnotized right now, and they're loving it. They asked for it, and they're getting it. They don't think for themselves or act for themselves or do for themselves. And they've gotten lazy and lethargic. And even if I told them that you are so hypnotized, and not speaking to you, but like I was speaking to them, you're so hypnotized, and they just have that big grin on their face. Just as long as they get a little bit of circus and cake, a little bit of pleasure just to keep them going. So hypnosis is a big problem. How do you get beyond hypnosis? Choice. Thank you. Thank you. Did you get an award today? You get one now. You get another one.
Does she
That
get
was
another
brilliant.
one? She gets another one.
Another one. Choice. That's how you can do it as visionaries for this planet, to make a choice for yourself. Work with choices. Esoteric, spiritual, intuition, knowingness. I'll use the word intuition here. Intuition, awareness. Now, this is something that actually is constantly connecting and communicating within you. You're all very intuitive beings. However, you let the mind overcome it, and you let your doubts then push it off somewhere else. But the intuition right now is actually bringing in feelings of things that are going to show up in the newspaper on Wednesday. And you say, "It's something wrong with my stomach. It must just be because I'm having problems at work." No, you're intuitive beings. You're picking up on things that are moving and shifting in the earth. Lovely smell. You're picking up on anxieties from people in the cities where you live in. You're picking up on the spooks that have been walking through the room here, always fascinated by you, that are earthbound. But your mental processes convert it, put it off in some different area, cause you to doubt yourself. So you're really not allowing yourself to perceive on an intuitive awareness basis. It's already there. We don't need to take class in intuition, in knowingness. You know why I don't want to do classes on that? Because then you go mental about it. It's already there. It is you. It's already at work. It's really about trusting that it's there. Trusting that it's not your garbage anyway, and trusting that when it comes in, particularly the mind tries to take it over. These are different types of awarenesses that you work with right now. These are the most obvious, because they're right in your face. If I kick you in the foot, you're going to be aware of it. These are the most prolific. They're always happening. They're driving you crazy. These are the most natural, the most fun, and the easiest, but the ones that you tend to push out of your way. When I asked the question before, where is your consciousness? It's a really good question. That's a really good question. Some of you say here, well, but are you really being conscious here? I would contend that a lot of your consciousness is out there somewhere, is out in another realm. You've held it out there. You've kept it from being in here. you're avoiding it in a lot of ways. You've hidden it somewhere, and you really don't know where it is. And when I say, ask the question, what is consciousness? You give me a mental answer. And you say awareness, okay, but really, what does that mean? What is consciousness? What is consciousness? And I debated with myself, which is rather enjoyable, about should we define this or not, or should we leave it open-ended? Decided we'd define it to a degree. The consciousness is awareness, but put more concisely, distilled down, consciousness is your presence. Your presence. Not like a gift, but I mean, well, it is a gift, but your presence. That's a little bit different than being in the now moment. Very similar, they're like cousins, but it is your presence. Your consciousness is your presence and what you are allowing yourself to be aware of. Your consciousness is your presence, and your presence right now is right here, is sitting right here. Your consciousness is your awareness of sensory, of mental, and intuitive. Your consciousness is presence. And the question that I have for each and every one of you, how present are you? How present are you? How real are you in the moment? How conscious are you? You're much more conscious than most other humans. That is indeed a fact. But there's still that struggling back and forth. Still wondering, well, what does all this mean? And what is spirit? And what is consciousness? I'm going to ask you right now, without music, without words, without anything, and without this fan, for just a moment, dear Linda, to feel your presence, to be aware of your presence. And before you do, get out of your brain. No mind in this. No brain in this. Just take a deep breath. What is your presence right now? Not off somewhere else, but right here. What is your presence? Some of you are getting a bit mental about this. You're trained that way. Humanity is like that right now. Everything is mental. You're trying to think about the answer. It's not going to work. Some of you are saying, I don't have the faintest idea. That's probably the best answer. Because at least you're opening yourself to it. What is your presence? Are you in your body, my dear? No. No, you're not. Are you in your mind? To a degree, yes. Are you fully present, Angel? No. No, and that's okay. At least you're aware of it. You see? And this is the simplicity and the beauty of it. Are you present? What is your presence? As you start to become aware of it through the senses, your physical senses, even through your mind, and the mind starts saying, am I present? Then through your intuition, you're finally going to start feeling yourself more present. You're going to start feeling more around you. You're going to have more awareness of yourself present. And the moment you have awareness of what is present, what is here, you're going to start understanding what is not present. You're going to understand what you've been holding back on, then, my dear, you get that state of pure consciousness. It goes beyond any of these types of awareness. It becomes the I am awareness. The I am awareness. And the fact that I am present, and that's all that counts. I am that I am. Every part, every piece, the body of consciousness, every aspect, every thought, every feeling, I am fully aware. I am that I am. Now, my dear friends, you're in this cycle right now. You're in this evolution. You're in this next stage. Whether I was here talking about it, it was going to happen anyway. But by discussing it, you get to be in the consciousness of this. You get the awareness. It satisfies a degree of your mind. Another part of your mind is even more confused than before. But at least you understand now, this is what's happening to me. You're becoming more present, more conscious, more aware. That is an important fact. Why? And then we're going to have Zachariah come up. Because I said before, everything is energy on Earth right now. Everything is about the conflict of energy, and that includes light versus dark, negative versus positive, energy battles. You could say it is kind of like the last great battle. Where the battle of energy is really taking place for most of humanity is in the mind. The mind, not necessarily being fought on big battlefields. It's in the mind. Humanity is going through a tremendous evolution of going out of the mental era that it's been in for a long time. It's arguable, but you could say anywhere from about 800 years to 2,000 years in a very mental era. It's going beyond that. And as you know from your own personal experience, that's a tough one. How do you get out of your own mind? How do you go beyond the mind, the very thing that's controlling and managing and consuming energy? The very unit that is demanding and consuming huge volumes of energy. The mind, not the body, the mind. Mass consciousness is going through that right now. It's not going to settle down right away. But sooner or later, mass consciousness will evolve beyond the mind. You're doing it right now. You've been doing it for a while. As you go into beyond the mind, what is beyond the mind? What is beyond the mind? Yell it out. Integrated body of consciousness, that's good. And awareness and consciousness are all beyond the mind. Intuition, you don't have to think about things anymore, you just know them. Where you don't have to try anymore. And with that, I'll give you your homework assignment if you want to do homework. If you don't want to do homework, that's fine. This is a good homework. Yes. Pick one day between now and our next, now in the conference for the midsummer in Santa Fe. Pick one day, any day that suits you or pleases you. On that day, don't try. That's easy homework, yeah. On that day, don't try. Now, what I mean by that is stop trying to figure things out. Stop trying to organize things and plan things. Stop trying. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't get out of bed unless you don't want to. But stop pushing against it. Stop this mental activity. When the nagging doubt comes in, when the brain energy consumption comes in, don't play the game. Just take a deep breath, it doesn't matter, and move on. Notice the difference in your own energy level, but more importantly, notice the difference in the result that takes place when you stop trying. When you stop trying to figure it out, stop trying to make it happen, stop worrying about it, stop pushing on it. You'll know you're trying if you get this tension up here. That's when you take a deep breath and stop trying. Well, it requires tremendous trust, but That's a good thing. That's a fun thing. One day. If you would be so kind to yourself as to write down the next day what you were aware of, what you perceived, what your enlightenment was, if any, about that, about a day of not trying. We'll work with that once we get back together in October, I believe. So with that, let's take a deep breath. You are consciousness. You're not energy. Energy naturally falls into place and goes to work for you, totally efficient, as you become aware, as you become conscious of your presence. Consciousness is awareness of all the different things that are going on. Consciousness ultimately is about your presence right here, right now. Your presence in this moment. At first, cosmic energy seems a little bit like chaos, because your mind is trying to order it or to make sense out of it. But it's not chaos at all. Chaos, the definition of chaos is what the mind doesn't yet understand. There is no chaos anywhere. Anywhere. It's only when you try to use current measurement systems, your current math is interesting as an earth practice. But current math is far short of really understanding true cosmic activities. And we won't go down that trail right now, but feel into the cosmic energy. It's different. It feels chaotic, but it's actually fairly refined. Now, the mind says, well, what do I do with it? Shut up, mind. Shut the hell up, mind. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? Shut up, mind. Yeah, really, tell your mind to shut up. I mean, really, and mean it, like you really mean it, not, would you please shut up? No, shut the up, mind. I didn't say it, but you all heard it. Isn't that interesting?
I don't mind the word, I just don't like it broadcast.
You could go back and play the tapes and it wasn't there, but every one of you heard it. Amazing. So, where were we? Shut up. No, really, that's what it takes. The mind is a strange aspect. And it's time that you, dear soul being, started telling it exactly what to do. Please? It gets so caught up in it. The mind's not a bad thing. It's just a strange thing. Could you imagine before you came to Earth, you didn't have a mind? There was no mind. Oh, what was that like? Pretty liberating. The mind helped to bring some depth, you could say, to the sensual experience of being on this planet. The mind has helped with that. But at a certain point, you outgrew the mind. It's like at a certain point, the horse and buggy has to go, no matter how many are saying that the automobile or its next iteration are evil. No, it's time to go. Time to go beyond the mind. The mind is a nice thing, but shut up. Try it at home. Shut up. I'm living. I'm busy. Shut up. I'm enjoying life. Shut up. Guys, you're like a bad wife or husband. Shut up. I'm divorcing you. I'm out the door. Okay, next on our list, cosmic energy. What next? The next level, by the way, you don't have to know where it is, how much there is, what color it is, or how powerful it is at all. It's just there. It's here to serve you. It's the only thing to know. It's here to serve you. It's abundant. And in the cosmic energy, it's going to feel different using it. You're used to using earth energies. And you try to amass more and more of them and use more and more. It just tires you out. Step over here. Feel into cosmic energy. It's much cleaner, much more efficient. It's going to feel a little awkward at first, like I've heard many of you say lately, you're disconnected. Oh, Christ, yes, You're disconnecting from a lot of old ways, and now you're playing with some new ways. So you're going to feel disconnected. Yeah, quit trying to go back. Stop trying to close that eye. God, it took enough to get it one open. So cosmic energy, just feel it. You will start to become familiar with it. You'll understand how playful it is, and it's not some science fiction thing. It's just there. The mind is not going to understand it, and that's where you have to go to the knowingness. For those of you who are really into your mind, you're not going to figure out knowingness. You know what you do if you're really in your mind? You shut up. And then you just take that step. You don't debate whether you're going to take that step out of the mind. You don't debate whether you're feeling something or not. You don't argue with yourself about whether you feel certain things or react to certain things or whether you can ever have sensitivity. You don't debate it. You don't think about it. Shut up. And you move into experience, feeling, knowingness. It's that simple. The funny thing is, the years that so many of you have wasted on debating with yourself. But, well, I'm not psychic. Yes, I am. I want to be. I'm not psychic. And somebody else, shut up. No, it's really that simple. I'm not kidding. It's that simple. You just say, no, this is, I am that I am. That's it. It's not and if you hear the voice saying, oh yeah, I hear you say I am, shut up, I am that I am. You're nothing. You're a stupid brain. You have to be a little playful. Because if you don't, you get caught in that brain. You start, well, I can't say that to myself because isn't that bad karma on me when I say shut up to my mind? And isn't that negative? Shut up. Stop. Enough already. Just choose. Hey, I'm going to be sensitive and feeling. Wow, amazing. It was always there. What was the big deal?
Shut up!
Let's do that together just once. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. Shut up! You do that better than I am that I am. Now that's sad. That's really sad. Damn. Tobias, I'm going to get you for this. Why is it that you could do that with more passion than you say, I am what I am, like you got a stick up your backside. But shut up was easy. Let's do shut up. That was fun. Let's do shut up. 1, 2, 3. Shut up! I am now going to go back in time to when I channeled the I am discourses, and we're going to just call it shut up. Now we'll make it a little more sophisticated. Shut up and live. Okay, no more I am, because that maybe it was too deep. Shut up.
You started something.
It lightens things up, really, because the worst place to have an argument is in your own mind.
Ooh.
I'm surprised you haven't been saying shut up a lot. Oh, you've been taking medications and alcohol. Oh. Shut up! So we should put it on our schedule for next month to do a shut up competition. Now, how much body language how much energy can you bring in just by saying shut up in a passionate way? Huh? And we'll judge to see how much of it was earth, how much was cosmic, or the next level of energy that's available to you right now.